Yeah, okay, fair enough. But we'll move on from cobbles. So we have just talked a bit about Tour Flanders, etc. But in terms of the other big race that was happening, Volta Catalunya, I don't know how you guys normally feel about this race, but normally I kind of ignore it. I know,
Exactly.
yeah, and even
From
more so when one rider is dominating outright from start to finish.
Well, last year was a banging Catalonia because we had Roglic.
Yeah, exactly, true.
But honestly, this is a stage race I rarely watch. I think last year was the first time I ever watched a full Catalonia stage. But this year, Holy Ghost, it was something else for Poggi from start to finish, pretty much. Oh well, day one he didn't win, but he was very close to winning, and then just boom, he just like completely exploded this race. How many stage wins did he get in the end? 4, I think. It's just mightily impressive. And the gaps they got in the top 10 of GC, those are gaps you would see in Grand Tour, like top 10s in the end. And, spare a thought, Egan Bernal's first World Tour stage race podium since the Giro in 2021.
I mean, this was a bit like, was it the Dauphiné or Basque Country last year where Vingo absolutely kablammered the field? Yeah, it's just when they're not together, it's just nothing.
Yeah, it's I mean, just to give some context to Ewan's like time gaps, the difference between Poggi in first and Mikel Landa, who, let's face it, this is a very good version of Landa, but we saw this week, was 3 minutes and 41 seconds. The gap between Poggi and 10th place, who was Lorenzo Fortunato, was 7 minutes and 27 seconds in a stage race that is 7 stages long. Like, should we just give him the Giro now? Is there actually any point in anybody else turning up to the Giro? If Poggi stays on his bike and doesn't get ill, it's going to be, what's the biggest margin of victory between first and second in the Grand Tour? We might be verging on a new record.
It's probably like from the old days. It's probably like, I don't know, 30 minutes from like the 1920s. But if we have 3 weeks of this, I like Poggi. I think he's a great racer. But 3 weeks of this at the Giro, nah, pass.
Yeah, literally. No, the Giro is in danger of being a massive GC snooze fest. And it's just going to be like UAE might have a massive gap of it, just go breakaway, 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 send them all.
What they could do is give everyone a head start. And it's like a little fun match where like Poggi has to like kind of go woo and catch everyone. Or maybe like put him on, limit his gearing.
Well, give him junior gearing.
Yes. Maybe he has to just like, maybe he's not allowed to win. I don't know. Like, just the prospect of the Giro is incredibly like just dull and dire at this point. Ben O'Connor. Can Ben O'Connor really challenge him? No. Be real. I like Ben O'Connor as well, but he's not following Poggi up these climbs.
I mean, the Giro and the Basque Country in next week or whenever, has kind of the same feel where it's like, who's going to rival Bingo? Giro as well. It's terrible, isn't it? Already, we haven't even taken one pedal stroke of the Giro yet.
Isn't Roglic going to Basque Country?
Oh, okay. Yeah, number 10 from the Pyrenees.
And Remco.
Okay, I take it back a bit.
And lots of other. Basque Country has an amazing stylist, but an incredibly underwhelming profile. Like it's a little bit sacrilege. On a really good form, like Alex Arambarou could win this. If Jonas wasn't here, Alex Arambarou could probably finish top 10 GC, I reckon. Actually, not even joking. This is Alex Arambarou's Tour de France. This is all he cares about in the year, is dominating Exulia Basque Country.
I also just want to point out 2 good World Tour debut victories. Actually, well, not debut for one of them. But Marin Vandenberg looked really good. He got a win here in a sprint. He's been knocking at the door for like a big win that wasn't from a breakaway. And then Echelon as well got a sprint win. The current under-23 world champion from France, who rides for Alpecin de Koenig. He got majorly shafted last year, the year before when Paris Cycling Club folded. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. But at that point when he was looking for new teams, most of the teams were full, so he became a stagiaire with Alpecin, so he wasn't allowed to go to World Tour races, but now he can, and he's already on winning ways.
Okay, back to Pog, because this is a Pog clip now.
Sorry.
Almeida, in the interview, he said that you shouldn't judge Pogačar against his form last year because of the wrists. So with that strong team and everything, do you think this is the best Pogačar we've seen? That's what I'm thinking, because he's breaking records literally every single stage he's doing, and he's looking frightening, to be honest, when you also consider the Strade Bianche win.
My only reservation about declaring that this is the best Pog we've ever seen is that the races that he's done hasn't been up against Jonas or in a one-day setting Van der Poel. Because I think that's really the thing, is like, is it sort of like, are the results, I don't want to call them like, they're not like, it's not sandbagging, but, you know, are the results inflated in kind of scale just because there isn't that other massive rival there? Saying that, I think that Poggy is absolutely flying. He is insanely good at the moment. It's almost a shame he's not going to Basque Country, because that would give us a bit of a Tour de France rehearsal. Poggy, why have you denied us? Why have you denied us of this? Like, you've just gone to the Volta Catalunya and ruined everybody's hopes and dreams. When we really needed a Basque Country fight so we could all get a bit of a sense as to how the tour's going to go this year, but instead, no, we're going to have to be remaining in the dark about it. Is this the best Poggy we've ever seen? I guess yes. Just because of how dominant he's being against all these kind of second-tier favourites. I think if you put a first-tier favourite in there, I still think he's going to beat them.
Yes, we're going to say this is the best Poggy we've seen. I think it's also just like he's looking so strong, so commanding. He's maturing. He's getting better with his tactics. And just a combination of all these different things. Like, his team is performing better. Him and Almeida are such a good double act. We haven't seen them really collaborate together, but they were fantastic. It makes you worry what they're going to bring at the Tour de France. This is probably the best Poggy we're going to see. But is it going to be the best Poggy after he's about to sort of dominate the Giro, but is he going to be the best Poggy we've ever seen once the Giro is done and he rolls into the Tour de France with a Grand Tour already in his legs? Food for thought.
He's going to be such an enigma. He's going to be a massive headache for us trying to predict what's going to happen at the Tour based upon his Giro, because he's just going to do the Giro and then nothing. I mean, he's going to rock up to the Tour and we're going to have absolutely no idea if he's absolutely wrecked or if he's firing on all cylinders. That's going to be the really hard part for everybody to try and predict what kind of Poggy we're going to get.
Ewan actually said that he thinks Pogačar is going to win Giro and Tour because the Tour is so the Giro is so front heavy, and then the last 2 weeks you can just use this like basically trading. I mean, and then like he'll be fresh for the Tour.
He'll literally just be able to let breakaways go because he'll be ahead by 10 minutes by the end of stage 12. But he'll just be able to be like, serve a breakaway all the time and then just mark moves.
Yeah, I mean, if he just puts in that the big moves in the first week, it's not great for us, but it's great for him. He can get that 3-minute advantage and ride at home easy. It is still a month off, you know? He's not going to be riding for like June competitively. That's a great time for him to just, recuperate. It's not like he's like doing racing in between as well. I think we might be overanalyzing the gap in between. It's different because he's I think mentally he's been doing other things on top of the Tour de France, whereas everyone else is just going into the Tour de France. But I think Poggy's going to be okay. He can just sit at home and watch everyone battle it out in the Dauphiné with some popcorn in his little bucket.
Yeah, if anyone's going to do it, it's him. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's true. Also, side note, did anybody notice how Joao Almeida can descend now? When did that happen? What kind of evil Knievel Matej Mohoric has got into him? Like on that stage 1, he was absolutely flinging it around corners. I was like, what has got into him? This is not the Joao Almeida who at the Giro was losing like a minute on descents. He was on the hoods, like kind of very tentatively getting his way downhill. I was like, this is a completely different Joao. And I love it.
Almeida's looking good. I think he will be a really, really important addition to that Tour de France squad. We now just need to see Ayuso ride with Poggy, and then we get sort of another sort of flavour of what that team's going to bring. Because it might even be stronger than this Melissa bike in the mountains. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I think they're going to arrest them.
Want to use a TT expert.
Yeah, but Cuss was in the Volta Catalunya. Anyone noticed?
Okay, Cuss is never good at 1 week long stage races. I'll give him that.
It's true. I think that ever since the Vuelta, everyone's just got like this massive like Cuss hype going on, and I think that we all just need to settle down. I think that take the Vuelta last year out of the equation, pretend that didn't happen. It's like he was always a domestique. He never really went for his own opportunities in stage races. So therefore, I think there was probably a little bit too much expectation on his shoulders to do something in this race when he's never really, like Ewan says, done anything like that before. The Vuelta's just really kind of made people rethink how SEP races, whereas that was quite a unprecedented result that nobody really expected.
I think GC Cuss are going to unfollow you on Twitter.
Well, you know what? They could join all the Wout van Aert lovers and all the Roglic people who already hate me already, so join the club.
I will point out, Antonio Tiberi was really good this week.
The Italian sniper. We have to talk about it.
He's such a good buy, though. Like, he was such a good signing.
Well, he saw the name of the race, Catalunya, and he was like, "This is my kind of thing." But he was looking really good. He like podiumed like one of the mountain stages, and it's like this guy was like kind of a bit of like a sort of hardy time trial engine, and boom, he's now become like a decent climber at Bahrain. Who'd have thought?
He's like Sobrero, but quite better.
Oh no shame on Sobrero, please.
Well, I'm saying that Sobrero is a better time trialist than Tiberi.
Good, thank you. You redeemed yourself. But Tiberi's still only 22. Like, he's still young. So, And Chris Harper looked really good, actually, to be fair. I mean, he's been looking really good since he moved. Well, since he left Jumbo. He's one of the few riders who's actually like gotten better whilst after leaving Jumbo. And sorry, Visma. Well, he was there during the Jumbo time. Come on. But I think he's been riding really well. And join him up with Simon Yates once again, and they could be a threatening double act.
Simon Yates needs to step it up to Chris Harper's level. Did you know that Simon Yates was in the Volta Catalunya?
Yeah, he was actually. I saw his name on the list.
Was it?
Yes, he was. He actually was. He just did not good. I don't know why he didn't.
Geraint Thomas was there as well.
That's true. But
oh my gosh!
Outside of the Grand Tours, to be fair.
Simon Yates finished in 57th overall.
Who finished ahead of Simon Yates? That's embarrassing.
Wonder Kid Iban Sosa.
Ivan Sosa beat Simon Yates, a Grand Tour winner, in the Volta Catalunya.
Darren Rafferty of Ireland finished above him. Who else can we throw into the equation? Eric Antonio Fagundes of Uruguay finished higher than him. There are plenty of names you could pick out here.
Simon Yates is doing a Geraint Thomas where he only does well in the Grand Tours now. He just like sacks off any bit of stage racing as just training.
Did he not win this race like a couple of years back?
I think that was Adam Yates, but when he actually tries at stage races.
Anyway, speaking of stage races, Coppi Bartali also happened. Not many people care about that race because it's quite small, but it has had some notable winners in the past. Jonas Vingegaard, Mauro Schmidt last year. And I mean, this year, it wasn't Archie Ryan. I keep thinking Archie Ryan won it, but it wasn't. It was Koen Bouwman winning another 1 week stage, 5-day stage race for Visma Leafs bike, and actually his first stage race outright. So pretty cool. And Ewan's friend, Marco Brenner, won the first stage with a very daring descent.
Thank you. Archie Ryan, though, is the rider that caught my attention. Just 22 years of age, looked really, really good here. He won a stage at the Trail of Slovakia a couple of years back, and it's good to see him stepping up at the top level. They have, 3 Irish riders now at EF? So good to see someone flying the flag. Let me get my passport out. Let's go, Ireland.
How did you even get that passport?
Excuse me. I didn't create citizenship law.